Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Tempelhof Airfield here in Berlin after another weekend of exceptional Formula E racing here in 2025 Season 11. We now have the Berlin Rookie Test press conference. With our 5 drivers here, we may have a 6th driver joining us as well. From right to left, Abby Pulling from Nissan Formula E team, Ella Lloyd from Neon McLaren. We have Dino Beganovic from Mahindra Racing, Arthur Leclerc with Maserati MSG Racing, and Frederick Vesti from Andretti Formula E team. I'll start with you, Abby. You've been behind the wheel of this Gen3 Evo car before. You topped the timesheet last year in the women's test. What are you hoping to achieve with a bit more time behind the wheel today?
Yeah, I mean, this morning we were doing a lot of test items for the team, so more pace to come in the afternoon, but just to get closer and closer. Obviously, the women's test was great and having that, but this was the next step, doing the full rookie test with the Nissan Formula E team, especially after my new role with them being a sim and rookie driver.
It's obviously been a great weekend for the team as well, with Oliver Rowland clinching the Formula E Drivers' Championship. That must be quite inspiring for you as a champion yourself to be involved and around the team this weekend.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've been following all weekend, and it was an emotional weekend. There's some lows, but obviously a massive high at the end. And yeah, having Ollie win the title, obviously a fellow Brit as well, is really nice. And yeah, I mean, the team, I just can't thank them enough for letting me be involved and helping me, and the boys as well, Sergio and Ollie, have been giving some advice for today, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds really, and the team they keep striving to be faster, and the development what they're doing is really cool. So I'm happy to be involved behind the scenes, and yeah, looking forward to see what they can do in London.
Since winning your own championship in the F1 Academy, you're now driving in the GB3 Championship in the United Kingdom. How seriously are you looking at Formula E as a next step once you graduate from GB3? Yeah,
I mean, me taking the role with Nissan, of course, I'm looking at it as a really viable role and a viable, what's the word that I'm looking for? Viable path, that's the word. And yeah, it's really exciting, and after the women's test in Harama, the push for getting more females involved, especially female drivers from Jeff Dodds and Formula as a whole is massive. I mean, to have the 11 teams agree to put on that test for us was such a great thing, and it's just such a wonderful atmosphere. Everyone's welcoming with open arms, and the team have got so much respect for me, and treat me as if I'm another driver, which is really nice. And of course it would be nice to join the grid one day, but I say in the distance I've still got a lot of work to do to get to that. There's a lot to learn with these cars, a lot to manage, and I often say you have to have so much capacity to drive it. So yeah, excited to kind of take that challenge on.
And finally, were you allowed to join in the celebrations last night, or were you bed early to prepare for today?
I mean, a lot of them cracked open a few beers, and I mean, even maybe if it was a cocktail, I'd have been more inclined to. But no, I didn't join in. They're all actually prepping the car ready for today, so still celebrations to be had for the team. But yeah, I mean, they deserve it. I feel bad for them that they've had to come here after it and not been able to have a bit of fun, but yeah, they've got plenty of time for that soon.
I think they'll be celebrating all summer. Thank you very much, Abby. I'll move on to you, Ella. You've also obviously taken part in the women's test last year. How good does it feel to be back behind the wheel of the Gen3 Evo car this weekend?
Yeah, it's amazing to be back behind the wheel. Obviously, I did the test last year, so that was like a little taster. So like that's like in my back pocket now, obviously coming into this test. I think this morning was pretty positive. We did some test items for the team, and hopefully now this afternoon we can, push forward and see what we can do.
Now, this car has a considerable amount of power compared to the car you're driving in F1 Academy. What was the most surprising thing when you first got behind the wheel about this Gen3 Evo car?
Yeah, I think it was definitely like the instant power coming from F1 Academy is obviously an F4 car, so it was quite a big jump. Definitely like in the 350, how much power it had. So yeah, it was a big jump, but yeah, really loving it at the moment.
We've obviously seen a lot of talent in the F1 Academy, and Abby's obviously the reigning champion at the moment and coming across, and you're both out on track today. How keen are you to be maybe the first female driver to graduate F1 Academy and come and drive in Formula E?
Yeah, I think Formula E is always an option. It's an amazing series. Obviously, being involved with McLaren and their Formula E team is an amazing opportunity. And yeah, it could be an opportunity one day, but we'll just see how it goes.
And obviously you've got Taylor Barnard as part of the team who's done incredibly well after jumping across from F2. What kind of advice has Taylor or maybe Sam Bird given you?
Yeah, Taylor's done pretty well this year. We've been around all weekend just listening in on their race weekend and seeing how they're getting on. And yeah, I've got Sam with me today helping and just giving some advice and some tips on what I can do. And yeah, it's great to have them around. Obviously, it's great to be involved with the engineers as well, but it's always nice to have a driver's perspective.
I don't think you could have a better mentor than Sam Bird. He's been around here in Formula E for a very long time. Ella, thank you very much. Dino, I'll move on to you. It's your first experience, your first taste in Formula E. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's been very interesting, I would say, so far. It's been a new experience for me, obviously, with everything, with the new team and the new championship, new car that is driven in a very different way from what I'm used to. But I would say the morning went positive. I'm looking forward for the afternoon and continue doing tests for the team and seeing how much more experience I can get her.
For most of us who have never been in a Formula E car or an F2 car, what are the instant differences when you jump in the cockpit of this car compared to the car you're competing in your championship at the moment?
I think this car compared to any car in the ladder to the F1 is a big jump. You obviously have the tracks that are quite different, a lot smaller, together with the grip, downforce level that is a lot lower than what I'm used to and than what most of us are used to. So it changes quite a lot in driver technique, how you're braking, how you're applying throttle, and then especially for the races and how you're coasting, saving the battery, and obviously we saw yesterday how you can win a race in that sense. So I think there is many different ways to put it into words, but yeah, it's a very big change.
When you reach the pinnacle of junior racing, as you are in F2, you've seen what drivers like Taylor Barnard and Zane Maloney have done this year, moving across from that championship to Formula E. It must be encouraging for you that Formula E is another option for you.
I think Formula E is one of the championships with the most, let's say, the level of the drivers are very high. Also with the teams looking how they're working, and I was quite surprised in a positive way how well the team is working, and it feels a bit like a mini Formula One team. So I think there is definitely a bright future for Formula E. But my goal remains the same, which is Formula One at the moment. But let's say you can never exclude it potentially being something in the future.
Well, thank you very much. Best of luck this afternoon. Otto, we'll move on to you. Obviously, you've had a little bit of experience being part of the team testing the car before, but this will be the longest you've had in the car today. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's been quite a long time, 5 years, so a lot of things changed. Yeah, it felt completely new today. 5 years that I'm not anymore at all in this Formula E world, so I had to discover a lot of things, a lot of new system, not the same person because it was Venturi before. So yeah, it was quite good, this experience this morning. Yeah, the 350 is feeling quite nice as well with the four-wheels drive. It's a different way to drive, but yeah, it felt really good.
Can you put into words the jump between generations of Formula E car, your experience before and your experience today?
Oof, yeah, it's changing quite a lot, like I said. I mean, it's just two completely different cars. You can just feel that this one has a lot more potential. As well, the way that we were using in the race, to regenerate the battery are completely different. Now it's completely different strategy, a completely different way to do it, as before we were doing with a paddle. Yeah, there is many things, many other as well settings that we can do in the steering wheel on the battery that is helping you a lot with the balance. So yeah, I have to say cannot really compare them.
Coming from Monaco, how much would you love to maybe get in this car and give it a go around the Monaco track?
Will be amazing. I mean, obviously, I try to be here when I can, when there is the Formula E Grand Prix in Monaco. This year I couldn't, but yeah, obviously I hope one day it will happen.
Maybe in the future. Best of luck this afternoon. Frederick, we'll move on to you. It's not your first test, obviously, but your first experience of the Gen3 Evo car. Before it was the Gen3 car. Can you just describe the difference that we've seen in this kind of mid-generation jump to this car?
Yeah, honestly, it's cool to be back for the second year. Obviously, experience last year gives me something to work with this year, something to expect, and that's really quite cool. And yeah, the four-wheel drive is definitely something interesting. It's not something I'm used to previously in my career, but when you activate it, it's really cool feeling. You get a good kick, and it's a different race car. It's like driving two different race cars in the same run, and I think that's quite special and different.
You've obviously got a lot of experience, as you all have, in your respective teams, but I've seen Jake Dennis around potentially giving you some advice. What kind of advice does a former Formula E world champion give you?
Yeah, he's around. He's looking at the data with me and my engineer, and obviously giving the advice that he can on lines, on brake shapes, all of this. It's very different to what I'm usually running. I was doing a test in Formula 1 just 5 days ago, and then jumping into this is quite significantly different. But yeah, the goal is the same in both cars. You want to maximize the car, the potential, and that's what we're doing today.
Given that you've probably been in an F1 car most recently compared to the Formula E car, what are the big differences for us non-drivers here who would love to maybe get a chance to drive both these cars but never will?
Well, obviously the F1 car has a lot of grip and a lot of potential, but what really is quite special with the Formula E is all the systems. You can play around with so many things as a driver, and it feels like you need to be half a driver, half an engineer to run this car and maximizing it. Because you can just change the brake shapes, the way the car feels. You can change corner by corner, and that's the biggest difference.
It's been a little while since you've competed in a single-seater championship full-time. Should maybe next year a seat be available and it works with your other commitments? Is Formula E an option for you?
I mean, it's definitely interesting. Formula E is a world championship. I want to be world champion, and I think that has a lot of interest. Also, Formula E has some of the greatest drivers, active racing drivers, and for sure that makes it interesting. And yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm just happy to be here today and continue the learning, continue developing as a driver as well.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much. And Theo, how are you feeling? Because I believe you've only recently arrived here. You've flown across from, was it Brazil?
Yeah, I was in Brazil a few hours ago, and sorry for the delay. I was eating some really good pasta bolognese in the team catering. So, yeah, but overall a little bit tired, but it's fine.
Obviously, to jump off a flight and jump into this car and put in some strong laps already, it seems like something between you and this car really connects.
Yeah, I mean, I like the team a lot. I've been doing a lot of simulator, of course, throughout the year, participating in the FP0 in Jeddah as well. So I know the car a little bit. I still have a lot of things to learn, but performance-wise, this morning was not too bad. So it's a new track as well to me. So Berlin, I've never driven here, but it's a cool track, and everything is going well at the moment. So we just do the test program, and this afternoon we'll put some new tires and go quick, hopefully.
Can you give us an insight into what kind of things you have been working on in this morning session with the team?
Yeah, a lot of, some of the items they are trying for next season as well, and also just trying things with me, trying some different systems in the car. As Fred said, there's like 1,000 things you can do in this car. So you can really set up the car for each drivers, and I have a very different driving style compared to Stoffel or compared to Jake. So I'm trying to find my systems in the car, and yeah, so we've been working on that.
And obviously, finally, you've driven a lot of cars over the last few years in different championships, but you've not quite found a home yet. Do you feel like Formula E could be your home going forward?
Yeah, true. I'm still looking for a home. So I'm a homeless racing driver actually. no, but yeah, it's. I mean, I've been doing a lot of things from Super Formula to IndyCar, a little bit of F1 in testing, F2, Formula E, and endurance racing actually. So endurance racing is very cool. Formula E is very cool. I see some drivers doing both championships, and it's clearly looking very, very nice to do. So I would love participating in those 2 World Championships.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have time for some questions. Going to get the nod. If you'd like to ask any of our drivers a question, please raise your hand. Over here.
Question to Theo, please. Theo, you just mentioned a potential Formula E future. I think the expectation is that you will be a considerable part of Stellantis' preparations for Gen4. Would there be any point in hopping in for one season of Gen 3.5, or if you come in, would it be fresh from the new regulations, do you think?
I feel ready to drive at any time in Formula E. From next season, why not? At the moment, there is nothing is sure. I think it would be great for sure before going into the Gen 4 to have a bit more race experience. But yeah, let's see. I'm doing a lot of simulator with Stellantis, working already on the future. Let's see. As I said, of course, the Formula E World Championship is really nice. And if I can do probably both, WEC, Formula E, I don't know. Let's see what the future holds. I'm ready for anything, as I said.
I'm sensing you quite fancy a dual role between WEC and Formula E.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Let's see, but I will try to find the best opportunities for sure.
Okay, any more questions? Anyone like to raise their hand? Okay, that just about wraps it up. Thank you very much for your attendance. Obviously, we have one more session to go this afternoon. It's all right, you can leave now. It's all good. Thank you.